Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? Me? Well, if the truth be known, I'm slightly irritated. Why am I irritated, you may well ask? It's the topic of today's Growing Your YouTube Channel to 100,000 Subscriber vlog. 3 things that drive me crazy about online marketing. 3 techniques that I think we are better than today on Dotto Tech. When I began taking this YouTube channel and trying to make it the base of my business and grow a business from it, I think deep down inside I knew that I would have to become an online marketer, an internet marketer, in order to have a successful business. That was just the path that I was ultimately on. But there were a lot of things that caused resistance in my mind to that process. And the number one thing was I did not want to be painted by the same brush as a lot of the online marketing community. I didn't want to be seen as shilling, and I didn't want to be seen as being manipulative. And so consequently, I've tried my best to build my business as far away from that as possible. Having said that, there are different techniques that we are being constantly taught and constantly being recommended to from the online community that I think cause us to start to cross over that line, and we should be better than that. So today on Growing Your YouTube Channel to 100,000 Subscribers, 3 things that drive me crazy about the online marketing community. 3 places I think we should strive to be better. And the first is false scarcity. What is false scarcity? False scarcity is when we create an artificial shortage in order to sell, in order to trigger the sale. Now, typically speaking, what will happen is you'll have an early bird offer, a sale, a promo that has a fixed date that it ends. Now, we know that causes people to jump and to take advantage of the bargain because it could go away. They don't want that deal to escape them. So psychologically, it's a great technique, and it works very well. Having said that, when it's false scarcity, when you create an artificial trigger that you really don't stand behind, that has no real reason, that to me becomes manipulative, and I think it undermines our efforts. Case in point, you say, I've got a special early bird offer. This is only available to Tuesday. You send out a bunch of emails. If you don't buy it before Tuesday, you can't get it. It'll be gone forever. And then on Wednesday, it's still around. Or people can get it the following week or the following month. It's available again. That is false scarcity. It undermines us because the credibility hit that we get when people realize that that deal is still around, I think it just basically flies in the face of what we're trying to do as far as community building, engendering trust, and creating trust. Another way that false scarcity is often presented is in webinars. There's a limited number of seats available for this webinar. If you don't jump into it right away, if you don't sign up for it right away, the seat will be gone. That's totally legitimate if you're using a tool like GoToWebinar, where you're limited to maybe 200 seats in your license. But I often hear that being told to me, sign up or the seats will be gone, and then I go in and it's a Google Hangout on air, which I know has unlimited seating. Again, you started out your relationship by lying to me. What kind of relationship are we going to have long term? We can do better than false scarcity. The second thing that we can do better than is forced upsells. Oh, I can't tell you how many podcasts I've listened to teaching about online marketing saying you're leaving money on the table if you don't upsell, if you don't figure out upsells based as soon as you have the person's credit card out. That's when they're most likely to spend money. You're leaving money on the table. Well, that may well be the case, but is what we're doing, building a community, doing content marketing, is what we're doing trying to extract the maximum number of dollars as we can out of our community, or are we trying to provide value in return for our product? If it's the latter, then create a great product, price it well. There are some legitimate upsells. You might, as a trigger, give some free consulting, give some extra little bonuses that go along with with the purchase, and indeed you might charge more for that at that time. But make sure they're legit, and don't build the whole system as a manipulated system so that you can get the person in for get them in at $9.95, then you quickly upsell them to the $19.95 product, and before you know it, in 3 days, you've managed to sell them your $499 product, which might be way overpriced, but they don't notice it because they just keep spending more and more money. That, I again think, we can do better than. We can create great, compelling product, we can serve our community and serve ourselves, make a profit, and still not become manipulative. Number 2, forced upsells. I'm just getting started. Number 3 is my absolute least favorite thing that happens in the online marketing world, and that is faux webinars. All right, this is that. You do a webinar, you ask people to sign up for the webinar, you deliver a webinar live, there's lots of engagement, and it's a great tool for selling and in educating and informing your audience. But a lot of my colleagues are doing fake webinars where they've recorded a webinar, they've pre-recorded it, and they are presenting it as though it was live. And the technology has come so far that if I'm viewing a webinar, I can't tell whether it's live or not. Case in point, my favorite webinar product, I use it all the time, is Webinar Jam Studio. It is an outstanding product. Works great, and it's been, as far as I'm concerned, an invaluable business partner with me growing my business. They've got built right into Webinar Jam now an add-on which you can purchase called EverWebinar. And take a look at this. It says right here at the bottom, is it live or is it EverWebinar? In fact, in their marketing, they say that they can create a webinar that's so lifelike that they can't tell the difference if it's live or not. So you can then create these faux live webinars, constantly be driving traffic to the live webinar and informing people and selling your product. Yes, you're probably going to make an awful lot of money if you follow this particular path. But again, what sort of long-term relationship do you have with your customer if the very first thing that you do is lie to them? And make no mistake, if you make me believe that I'm in a live event that's pre-recorded, you are lying to me. I just don't think karmically we have a long-term future. So this drives me crazy. Now, I have no problem with pre-recorded webinars, and I have no problem with pre-recorded interactive webinars where you create as much interaction and as much energy as you can, but tell them that it is not live. Be clear, have full disclosure, full transparency. Then this is an awesome, awesome, awesome tool. But if you tell me that it's live and it's not, then strike one again. Well, you're out as far as I'm concerned. We don't have a future relationship. And just as bad are the people who put these on and then don't bother mentioning whether it's live or not and let you assume one way or the other. Don't ask, don't tell. Well, that's just as bad. You know, if I'm not wearing a wedding ring and I go on a date with you and you didn't ask if I was married, is it my responsibility to tell you? I think it might be. So, 3 things that you want that I think we as an internet marketing community can be better than. We don't need any more false scarcity. We don't need manipulated upsells, and we certainly don't need any more faux webinars. I'll get off my soapbox now. I hope you found this video useful, and here's what I really need from you. I need you to comment below and tell me what you think. I'd love to hear what my community thinks about my position on these topics. You know, there's 3 ways for you to stay in touch with us here on Dotto Tech. The first is please subscribe to our channel and subscribe to our newsletter, and then I can let you know about my real live, I'm here in the room webinars where we teach you a variety of different topics, and occasionally we sell you something as well. And Dotto Tech is also supported through the generosity of our community at Patreon, the crowdfunding site. I encourage you to drop by the Patreon page, see what support of Dotto Tech looks like and what perks are available to you, and the perks are indeed awesome. Until next time, I am Steve Dotto. Have fun storming the castle.